Radhe Krishna everyone. Today I'm here to show you how to make jackfruit seeds melogra. This is predominantly a specific recipe for jackfruit seeds and country beans, which is avrekai. So please make a note of this. It's a very unique recipe, and it comes out very well. And you can use this for idli, you can use this for dosa, akki roti, and rice as well. And combining this, you can make this as a prasadam for Krishna and offer it to him with a tulsi dalam. So let us see how to make this. First of all, I want to just talk a little bit theory about the jackfruit seeds. Jackfruit seeds are usually very kind of sticky, and you won't be able to catch them. So what you have to do is you have to wash them nicely and then pat dry and allow it for a day to rest. And then this silver shiny foil kind of thing that encompasses the seed, you have to remove that. You have to remove that, and then if you are not able to remove it, you can just take a pestle and then hit the seed, and then you will be easily able to remove the foil. Once you have removed the foil, I have boiled this for about 8 whistles, and I'll show you how smooth and seamless it has cooked. So see, this is how well cooked the seed should be. If it's not well cooked, the melogra will not taste good. Some people prefer to remove this as well, this layer of the seed as well, and but I am not going to do that because I want this texture to be a part of the melogra. So I am keeping this. But after this, I am going to cut them into half or 3/4 depending on the size that I want. And there are two parts to the melogra. The first part is the kharam, the spice. For this spice, I have taken about 15 Mankati red chilies. You have to use Mankati red chilies or Guntur if you don't have Mankati. And I have taken about 1 spoon of coriander seeds and half a spoon of jeera. So you have to roast all these 3 ingredients and powder it. And you have to keep it separately. And for the melogra to have this binding component to it, what I have done is I have taken about 20 spoons of chana dal. I will also show you the spoon that I use to measure this. So this is the spoon with which I measure everything when I cook. So in this I have taken about 20 spoons, and I have taken about 2 full spoons of urad dal, and this is the ratio. It has to be 20:2. If you put too much of urad dal, the melogra becomes sticky and it won't be well bound and very creamy and oozy. So make sure that you are doing this. And now I also have about a fistful of grated coconut. And the secret to this grated coconut is that you have to remove the black covering of the coconut before you grate the dry coconut. This is very important, otherwise your melogra is going to come out very black and dark in color, and it won't be pleasing palate. So and then in this spoon I have taken about 2 spoons of poppy seeds, 1 spoon of jeera again, and 2 spoons of sesame seeds. You have to roast all this, powder this, and then grind this, and I'll show you how to do this. And there are specific times to use kharam, and then at a specific point during the process you have to add the all this paste that I'm going to make. So this is how we make this melogra. It's a very interesting dish. Using avrekai or country beans, you can also make this. So let us see further. So friends, again I have taken a hot pan and I'm going to start to roast the ingredients for the kharam. To roast the coriander seeds and jeera for about 10 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds. And to that I am adding the Mankati red chilies. The reason why we roast all of these ingredients is because it kind of makes the ingredients very crispy, and it also kind of brings out the flavor in them, including the red chilies. So please do not miss out on the roasting process. So now this is done. I'm going to transfer it to a mixer jar once it's cooled down and make a powder. So now I'm starting to roast the ingredients for the paste for Melogra. And friends, this is a very age-old recipe from that is very unique to my house. So please experiment this. So I'm starting to roast with chana dal and urad dal. My aunt, when she does it very elaborately. She roasts each and every ingredient separately. But because the Aradhana is pending and I'm showing it to you guys in the video, for the sake of convenience, I'm roasting multiple ingredients together. But preferably, please roast it one at a time. So here again, it is not a very major roasting process like you do for the sambar powder, etc. You have to roast it on medium flame so that these ingredients do not kind of burn or char. I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients, including the poppy seeds and jeera and sesame. So as soon as you hear a splatter or two, you have to add the coconut and turn off the stove. Now, just so that the grease in coconut comes out, I am roasting coconut as well along with the rest of the ingredients so that everything kind of catches the grease. So now this is done. We have to, once it cools down, we have to make a nice powder and add water and make a paste. So friends, now I am making a powder of the kharam. So friends, this is how it should be. It should be like a nice smooth powder. This is the kharam. So friends, now I have transferred all the rest of the ingredients for the paste. Now I am going to make a powder of this. So friends, now see how this has become. This has become a very smooth powder. So this is what you will need, and you have to mix this with water to make a paste, or you can just add water to this and give it a couple of pulses to make it a smooth paste, and then we are going to add this to the Melogra. Please note that the texture of this powder should be almost like rice flour. It should be extremely well blended. Otherwise your Melogra is going to break and it's not going to be a smooth consistency. So please make a note of this point when you are making this interesting Melogra. So friends, now we have to just explaining a bit of theory here. So now we have to chop this to the size that we want. I have taken about 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to set this to boil and add all the chopped ingredients to this along with this kharam. Because if you don't add the kharam and boil it along with salt and the seeds are going to be bland, and the rest of the Melogra is going to be spicy. So you want to make sure that the spice kind of gets infused into the jackfruit seeds as well. So let us see this step. Hi friends, now the water has come to a nice rolling boil, and I have also made pieces of the jackfruit seeds like you're seeing. I've chopped it into half because it was very nicely boiled. So I am now going to transfer all of this to the boiling water. And here another thing to notice, you should not use too much water to boil this, because then your mailogra becomes very loose and you don't want that. So please watch the amount of water that you're going to take. It should, to be very in layman terms, it should just barely cover the surface of the boiled contents, whether it is avrekai or jackfruit seeds. The theory is the same. So let me just focus it here. Now you should not over stir this, because if you do, then all of this is going to disintegrate and you will not find any jackfruit seeds in your mailogra. Now I am actually adding salt, rock salt for taste. Now coming to the kharam, there is a point that you have to note. This 15 Mankati red chilies that I told you about and I made a powder, you should not add all of this. Please note, you should not add all of this. It becomes extremely spicy. The reason I said 15 chilies is because that is the minimum that is needed for my mixer jar to grind these ingredients. So what you have to do is you have to just take one small spoon like this and maybe half a spoon and save the rest of it for mailogras that you are going to make in the future. Otherwise this whole thing is going to become extremely spicy, and it will not be you will not be able to offer this to Krishna. So please make sure that you are not transferring. Just because you ground 15 Mankati red chilies, you are going to add all of this. So I've just added 1 and 1/3 spoon of this in this small little spoon. I have added only that much. I'm going to save the rest of it for the future mailogras that I'm going to make. So I'm just saying that there was a small glitch, so I'm just stirring it gently once so that it kind of catches all the saltiness and the spice. So I have to now reduce the flame to a medium. This was on high, so we'll let it boil for about 2 to 3 minutes. So friends, now I have transferred all the powdered ingredients to a bowl, and I'm going to add water and mix it and make it into a smooth paste, and which we will have to add to the boiling ingredients. You have to make sure that there is no clumps in this when you are making it. Then let us add some water. See friends, this is how it should be. It should be like the consistency that you use to make bondas and bhajis when you mix besan. So that is the consistency you will need, and if there are any clumps in this, you have to make sure that you are getting rid of it. I'm just adding a little bit more water to make sure that it is nice and flowy. So now we have to add this to the boiling ingredients. So another point friends, this is the water that I have used to boil the jackfruit seeds. You should not add this to the mailogra. When you are making a jackfruit seed mailogra, you should not add this. So this has been boiling for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now I am going to add all the ingredients that I just mixed. Please note friends, you have to always keep this on a medium to low flame when you are adding all these ground ingredients, because it is going to, because of the chana dal, it is going to kind of bind very well, very quickly. So you have to keep watching and stirring it. After adding this, I have a feeling that this will require a little bit more spicy. As you can see, it is already kind of binding and becoming very thick. So it is very important that it is not on a high flame, because if it's on a high flame, it's going to catch the bottom of the vessel, and it's going to burn and it's going to char, and it won't taste well. So it's important that you are keeping this on a low flame. And I'm just adding another half a spoon of kharam to this, because I feel that this needs a little bit more kharam. So this fine tuning you have to do when you're making these dishes, basis what you're seeing. So at this point I'm also adding a bit of tamarind juice that I had squeezed and kept. This adding tamarind juice is very important for this melogra, because that is what is going to balance the spice and the blandness of the jackfruit seeds and the spice from the kharam, and there is blandness coming from the chana dal, urad dal, coconut and all of those things as well. So this is it. So now we are going to boil this for another minute or two and turn off the stove. Friends, another important point to note is, as soon as there's kind of bubbles in melogra, that means the boiling is done. Where after adding chana dal, it's not a very long elaborate boiling process. As soon as this is hot and kind of bubbles like that, you have to turn it off, otherwise it's going to thicken to a great degree, and it's kind of going to, instead of becoming a flowing kodambu or sambar, it's going to become like a halwa. So you have to always be watchful when after adding the chana dal mixture. Now I'm going to give a tadka to this. So friends, for the seasoning I have mustard, jeera, hing, curry leaves and one Salem gundu red chili in about 2 to 3 spoons of ghee. So now I'm just adding this to the melogra and let us give it a nice stir. This melogra generally needs ghee seasoning only, and the seasoning has to be very strong. It has to be a nice smoked seasoning, and about smoked seasoning we'll talk about it in some other video at a later point. So that's it friends, this is an interesting melogra. Please make this too for your Krishna before the jackfruit season ends, and offer it to him with a tulasi dalam with Maha Naivedyam on the side. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanam. Radhe Krishna.